Hey, Aptonoth.
Oh, hey Nargacuga, how's it hanging, buddy?
I want to show you something.
Oh, you see, my Aptomom told me that I shouldn't talk to strangers, and
Oh, come on, you know me. I'm Nargacuga.
Well, I guess you are Nargacuga.
Perfect, yes, I am.
Okay, alright, you got my attention. What are we looking at here?
Well, it's not here. I couldn't possibly bring it with me.
Oh, so it's a big one then, eh?
Oh, yes, very big. It's a whole new area, Aptonoth.
Oh my, no, I have to go home. I think I left my oven on and just...
Oh, no, you don't. You're coming with me whether you like it or not. Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, boy, do I have a tasty little treat for you today. After thousands upon thousands of hours in Monster Hunter World, you'd think we might have found everything that the game has to offer. But by all that is holy, it seems as though the game is just never quite done giving. And the most interesting part of this new piece of land that we have found is that while it has always been there, it's always existed in the world since the release of the base game, it was never actually accessible until the glory that is Iceborne.
Say what?
But may not be quite what you were expecting, or honestly what the developers were expecting in any capacity, as this location is undoubtedly not intended for hunters. But they said the same thing about the new world before we came here, didn't they? It is the true explorers that advance society. So today, I have managed to explore an entirely new rock. Yeah, it's a big rock in the ancient forest, and honestly, it is pretty neat. It gives you an entirely new angle to look out on the sea to the west of the ancient forest, which also allows you to see the path that Zora Magdaros just straight up carved through the side of the ancient forest right at the beginning of the game. Bits of his destruction still here and still burning.
Burn! 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 Burn!
And this is simply the best angle for admiring the sheer amount of damage that he caused. I mean, look at how small the gap is between the hole he made and the actual land over there in Zone 9 where Nargacuga is, meaning that Zora Magdaros was legitimately a few feet from erasing an entire zone from the ancient forest. And of course, if you get unbelievably astronomically lucky, you can actually witness Savage Deviljho and Rajang having a turf war up here, which really, well, puts the fight on a pedestal. You can also just get a few nice angles on the regular ancient forest from here, a nice view of the center tree, a nice look over at the rock behind Camp 1, but honestly, the biggest thing from a visual standpoint to me is when you just look out to the sea, but like really far out to the sea, because with view mode zooming, you can actually get quite some distance, and from what I can tell, my vision isn't perfect, so forgive me, but this looks like another foresty piece of land, and well, obviously this wouldn't be an already accessible place within the game. It is simply a fantastic excuse to add as many of whatever type of biome to the new world that the developers want to.
What do you mean, why did you add another forest region? It was here the whole time.
But for the most part, what this place actually amounts to is just a really nice view with a chill place to stand around with your legs clipping through the floor because, well, you really aren't supposed to be here. And speaking of places you aren't supposed to be, there is actually one further place that is accessible only from here, but it requires leaving this world completely.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Oh, good. That's perfect then. If you just follow me and jump over the side, you'll notice that you literally jump out of the game world and find yourself under said world, just under the map as a whole. You can see some interesting little holes through the map, but they don't really show you anything. And while you are down here, you have absolutely no control of your character, so you're just sort of following the currents of this otherworldly water you have fallen into until it pushes you far enough into the ground that the game realizes you aren't supposed to be there, and then pops you out of the camp. Jesus Christ, where did you come from? But enough of what I saw and what I did, because I know you are all wondering the same thing. How the hell do you get up there? And the answer might make you happy because the way that I got up there is relatively repeatable, meaning that I can also show you how you can get there yourself. The short answer is you clutch claw onto Nargacuga or Zinogre, who this also works with, just before they take this back path around to Zone 9 from Zone 1, and you drop off of them strategically after they finish this first leap to the rock. The long answer, which you'll really need if you do intend to do this successfully, is that you have to perfectly time a tenderize attack on the tail of the monster while wearing rock steady while they jump on this rock so that you finish the animation on the rock without getting knocked off by the monster. And hey, this may not sound like the most annoying or difficult thing, but, and I'm not proud of this, it did take me a couple of hours to actually make it happen even after knowing how to do it.
It's
funny because it's true.
So here is my method, more or less. I used a charge blade, though you may be able to do it with other weapons, but the charge blade has this little bit at the end of its tenderize animation where it isn't quite technically attached to the monster anymore, but your hunter is still following the path of the body part, and that tiny little window at the animation is exactly what you were trying to line up with the jump onto the rock. So grab Nargacuga and either enrage him by doing the clutch claw turn attack on his face 3 times, or just put on a challenger mantle and use this to drag him carefully and purposefully to zone 1. Once he is in zone 1, you can safely take off your challenger mantle and put on your rocksteady mantle. Walk over towards this ledge here on the west side of the zone, and eventually he will find his way over to you. And then from here, if you give him a nice mouthful of dung pod, he is extremely likely to now take the rocky path to zone 9. Though he can still on occasion decide, fuck it, and just wander off in the other direction. If he goes the right way, you need to clutch claw onto his tail, jump the ledge, and then press triangle just as he walks over the little line on the floor where the color changes. It is possible to do it too early, so be careful of that, and if you do it too late, you'll wind up just bouncing off of the sky as Nargacuga climbs up, so it really is a tricky little timing window to unlock this pretty little location.
Hold on, Robin. Tight. I'll ease you back up to the ledge.
All in all, what we have here is a bug. It is a glitch. And yeah, maybe this area wasn't exactly meant for us to go to, but it sure is a really cool place to be. And I just love all the little extra bits of map detail that you can see from up here. And even more than that, the fact that the map itself is actually a solid visible thing the whole way through. If you manage to get to a spot like this in a lot of games, you'll just find a skybox, a super distant picture in the background, made to look like the world is bigger from the camera angles you can reach from normal places on the map. But really, just a static image in the sky. The ancient forest, however, continues over, and the rocks and the sides of the cliffs all continue to their logical endpoint at the ground level, even in places that you shouldn't be theoretically able to see from normal places on the map. In a lot of games, this backside of the rock face would just be entirely see-through, but in Monster Hunter, it's not, because they put in that extra effort. They put in that extra care. Every day, I find something new that makes me appreciate this game and this series and Capcom and its developers just that little bit more. And today, it was this. Alright everyone, I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been the secret new area in the ancient forest. Did you manage to get yourself up here? Did anything particularly interesting catch your eye that I might have missed? Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love, so let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, when we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or important news about the kingdom Animalia. Rage, Cotton, and Hollow are all here, talking about the things you want to hear, so if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.